Now I'm using Michael Jordan as an example specifically. Nike was a brand new sneaker. Came to Mike, we want to pay you this much. We want to do this and help us grow. Learn to start using the corporations and the businesses the way they're using you. Welcome to the Eye of the Storm, and I have a question I want to ask you. Why is it that we feel like we must jump out the nest like a brand new baby bird, flapping our wings on the way down, trying to figure out how to fly, and we use that same mentality when it comes to starting a business when all the resources are right around us? Now, I want to use the comparison of athletes because we have athletes who are struggle, grinding, trying to get that contract, looking forward to getting their first sneaker deal, but then you have athletes who get that contract, get that big money deal, and then what they do, they want to go and start their own brands. They want to go create their own sneakers. And I have no knock or nothing against that. But there's a comparison there when I saw this, right? There's an athlete now, Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown had got a tremendous contract. I think it was about $300 million contract. But he also was offered $50 million for Nike for a sneaker. He turned them down and started his own sneaker, which is incredible, which is great. I love the fact that athletes are taking control of their destiny. But here's the thing that I'm thinking about, right? And it's the comparison with the 9 to 5. LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, they have used the access of being able to have a company that's already doing something, give them knowledge and experience to now move their brand, grow their brand, and now if they want to leave and take the brand with them, they could take the data and the information where they don't need the brand anymore. Now I'm using Michael Jordan as an example specifically. Nike was a brand new sneaker, brand new brand. Came to Mike, we want to pay you this much. We want to do this and help us grow. So the company used Michael Jordan to actually grow their brand, right? Nike, see where it's at now. But now Nike is now signing other athletes on. I just mentioned Kobe, LeBron, all these other ones. You pick them, name them. Jordan has his own whole signature line. My thought process is, why don't athletes continuously look to use these companies, Nike, Adidas, Puma, if you want to launch a brand or a sneaker, because they mastered the art on how to do this, instead of taking your money to now basically create a new startup and try to sell a brand when you can work with them for 2-year, 3-year contract, learn the analytics, learn the marketing, learn everything, have people in your team working directly with them, shut down, leave after your 2-3-year contract is up. Now launch your own. Now you're not trying to create a startup because all the information is there. When Jaylen Brown mentioned that he was creating his own sneaker, he mentioned he wanted to follow in Kobe, who was on his way to launching his own brand before he passed away. But let's think about this now. Remember, there was a gap in between Adidas. From Adidas, he took time out before going to Nike. Right after Adidas, he could have launched his own brand, but he didn't. He launched with Nike. Nike did all the work. Nike got his name out. He sold millions of sneakers, made millions of dollars. Now he was going to drop his own brand because he had all the information, had the analytics, proving that he could sell sneakers. It wasn't going to be a startup. So my question is, should Jaylen do the same thing and say, you know what, I'm going to rock with y'all for 1, 2, 3 years, get this information so I don't have a startup company, and then I'm going to leave, take the information, and now I'm going to sell sneakers, my own brand all over the world. Same mentality for me with the 9 to 5 worker. You're at work. You're there gaining knowledge and information. And if it's something you love to do, why not turn that into a business? Why not use the resources to start your own business? And if it's something you don't like to do, then use the resources of the money to now find other people in the space of the thing you love to do. Don't just start something. Seek mentorship, get information from them, and now you learn about that thing. Instead of saying, you know what, I'm just going to throw some money here and try to get this startup going and see what happens. And a lot of the time it's a misdirection of energy. It's a misdirection because the energy of how you feel by going there every day will lead you to now start something, to now create something, but you don't have a plan. You're just in do mode, but you don't have a plan to actually get it done. Do mode and getting it done, that's two different things. So now I want to jump back over here to the athlete side of it. So now that you say, Jalen, literally, if he was to put this plan together and do this thing, would he be able to sell shoes even though he's a great athlete? Well, guess what? We would take the question, he would take the question out of it if he was to work with them, use them as a form of mentorship and guidance to build on that. We have to look at the partnerships with brands and companies. It's not only just being a partnership, it's a learning experience. It's you learning from them so you can now create and build. Because think about it now. Dwayne Wade, who turned down Nike also, went and signed a big deal in China to sell millions of sneakers, his own signature brand, signing other athletes, but that sneaker is only available online and the majority is being sold out of the United States. But think about it. You're a player here in the States, sneakers selling a lot outside of the States, but a lot of people here want that brand. I like the way the Dwayne Wades look personally, but I got to go through a lot to get the shoe. It's not just accessible to walk into a store. But what if he would have learned the strategies and worked with a company and now launched his own? That's just, see, distribution is what it is. Let's get to the bare bones of it. Distribution is the backbone of anything you want to do. I don't care if you have great music. I don't care if you have a great sneaker. I don't care if you have a great brand. I don't care if you have great movies, great scripts, great videos, great songs. If you do not have distribution to get it to the eyeballs, to the ears, to the people, it means nothing at all. Another example, Shaq. Shaq sells millions of sneakers every year. They're up in Sears, Walmart. Like, you will not hear about this sneaker. You won't see an advertisement, but guess what? He's selling millions of these sneakers through this company because they have the distribution and market it the right way. Now, could Shaq now go from here and say, you know what? I don't want to work with y'all no more. I'm going to have my own distribution. I want to do that. Yeah, he could. But it's the power of the distribution that's getting his sneaker out. That's what it is. Look at Kanye. He had the distribution deal. He had the Adidas. He had the Nike. But his problem was by burning those bridges along the way. If he was to try to drop a sneaker now, he needs distribution. So guess what? Would he be able to get them to distribute his shoe for him? Yeah, he could pop it up online. He could throw it out there, possibly get some sales, but it'd be nothing like those other sales. It doesn't matter. For someone like him, I would say yes, because anything less than a big bang is a failure, a big failure. And also, let's look at the music aspect. He dropped new music. It didn't explode like all the other times when he did drop music. You know why? Because distribution, burning bridges along the way, which means if YouTube say they don't want to stream you, they don't want to give you all those looks and spread you all around the algorithm, shut them down. If Apple says the same thing, shut them down. Spotify, shut them down. This is what happens. And now you're at the mercy of the people who own the distribution. So my thing is this: if we really want to cause a big shift, we have to start with distribution, not just coming up with a product. A lot of us, our culture, a lot of our people, a lot of us in have that thing we want to get out of the work mentality. We want to create something, but we're not looking at who are we going to get it to. We look at, well, I know tons of people. I got tons of family. I got tons of friends. And that's the wrong way to look at it. Your family and your friends are the worst people you can look at to be your consumer to help support your product. Literally, we know that. You open up restaurants, you can have tons of them showing up. Everybody want a discount, right? But here's another thing. We tend to look at business in an old-fashioned way. We look at it in the manner of a brick and mortar. Like, I'm going to open up this store. I'm going to open up this business. Look at how many businesses have been closing and shutting down. Look at the commercial real estate space has really been a disaster. A lot of people are ordering things from Amazon. A lot of people ordering online. You have a store 3-4 blocks away. People will order it before they get up off their couch and go get it. I'm a victim of that. You have people who won't take a 10-15 minute drive to go get something when they know they can order it and the next day it'll be there. So you have to change the way we think. Like, as a person who has a job, as a person who had a job like myself, my whole thought process was, I wanted to create something that I didn't want to have to work. I wanted to create something I was going to supplement my salary so I could leave, now pour fire on what I was doing, not leave and go work harder. That's the thing I want to get into y'all mind. What is it you can create that can generate you a good amount of revenue where you're not working hard because you have a job already, but now you're also thinking about the future and the direction of where things are going? I know we want freedom. I know we don't want to have to depend on companies, but you have to think about something. If brands are out there and people want to work with you, or you have access to these people who are running these brands, actually pay for those classes, pay for these masterminds, pay for that mentorship, coaching to learn how to start your business the right way. And make sure the person you're working with has that success. Success breeds success. Like, it's not just you have the how, you need to have the know-how. And on top of that, you have to have the belief that you can get it done. Yes, we have to get out of the mindset of, I don't want to work with this company. I don't want to be a slave to the corporation. I don't want to do this. I don't want to. But yeah, just like the way you use your job salary to breed success, I feel that the athletes on the other side of the coin still should be able to use these companies who use them to get a big brand name, and now learn from them to build that thing, and then we don't have to depend on them. I admire everything that I look at what LeBron is doing and with his network, and he put the right people around him to start. But what I also understand is he's not taking his money to go out to say, I'm not working with no other companies to help me distribute my stuff. I'm going to do it myself. Yes, he has a company that's filming. He has his partners. But guess what? He has the HBO. He has other movie companies who's doing his distribution, things of that nature, because you need those outlets. You need the outlet of the distribution. He's not saying, I'm going to pull my brand off of Nike and I'm going to go over here and do my own thing. Not yet. But if he does, he has all the information where he can get it done. So my thing is this: there comes a certain point where you're sitting in your cubicle, you waiting there at work, you're trying to figure it out, and that job ain't going to be there. What is the thought process of what you're going to create? How are you going to use the assets and the things around you to be able to get up, walk away, and say, I'm building this thing? Because the sooner you realize that the position you sit in as far as work, salary, rent, or not being able to own is only going to get worse, the sooner you're going to react and do something. You have to think about it. The limited time you have at your job, you're needed. But the moment that your space is no longer needed, what are you going to do? So I know you need to maximize the position you sit in right now and look at how much money you have and go, well, what am I going to do with this position I'm sitting in right now, instead of waiting for the next one, instead of waiting for the next raise? Because none of it is guaranteed. We have to start using companies, corporations, the way that they're using us. Because believe it, we're being used. And the sooner we realize that, the sooner you're going to realize how valuable you are, and whatever they're paying you, even if you were to start off making half of whatever you're getting paid now, it equates to the same amount of money you're making there. Because you know why? You have your own business. You're writing off a lot of things on taxes. You're minimizing a lot of costs by now not having to go into an office. But the thing is, you have to get started. You have to grow. Sitting around watching the sports and looking at all the athletes and just looking at all the $1 million and, arguing with each other all week about this football player, that basketball player, it ain't going to change. Like, don't get me wrong. Everything literally is a form of entertainment, but it's a bigger form of distraction. So I'm going to leave it there, and I want to thank y'all for tuning in to this episode of The Eye of the Storm. Learn to start using the corporations and the businesses the way they're using you to gain knowledge, experience, mentorship, and use the salary. And with that being said, I need y'all never to forget to always seek knowledge. Peace.